Israel, having found evidence of severe and long-lasting adverse side effects caused by the Pfizer vaccine, a leaked video recording of a meeting between the researchers and the Israeli Ministry of Health made plain the researchers' concerns about their own findings. But contrary to the researchers' opinions, the official report from the Ministry of Health declared side effects were short-lived and mild. Most significantly, despite the researchers' desire to keep going with their work, to learn more, their investigation was cancelled by the government. Joining me now is Yafa Shiraz, the Israeli journalist who has been with this story from the beginning. Good to see you again, Yafa. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you, Neil. Thank you so much for inviting me. As you so rightfully said, now is not the time to be silenced. We have to stand up and speak. So I thank you for giving us and other people the opportunity and the courage to do that.
Oh, that's good to hear, Yafa. Thank you for that. Now, since you broke this story, and it was you internationally who broke this story, has there been any response from the Ministry of Health in Israel, or indeed from anyone else?
Well, the answer is from Israel, there is no response. Deafening silence. They didn't even try to challenge our story or say anything about it. And actually, not only have they kept silence, but Neil, the most astonishing thing is that they halted the study. This is such an important study with such concerning findings, and instead of pursuing it, they just pulled the plug.
Remind the viewers, if you will, Yafa, about what the researchers found. You know, I've been through this story several times, and it is a complex set of data. But can you summarise exactly what it was that those researchers learned, or began to think that they understood, and what the funding was pulled away from them?
Yeah, actually, it's not so complicated. What they found was that every aspect of this study's finding contradicted what we have been told about the side effects of this vaccine. We were told that these are mostly local side effects and that they are mild, and that even if in some cases there are some serious side effects, and those are short-term and pass within a few days. So first of all, what the research team found was new signals, new side effects that were not listed by Pfizer and were not local nor mild. Actually, they included neurological side effects or muscle side effects and digestive symptoms that were new. They were not listed by Pfizer, not listed in Pfizer's doctor's leaflet. Second of all, they found that the side effects were not short-term, but actually many times were long-term. Those were long-term events that lasted weeks, months, and sometimes a year or even more, and in some cases were ongoing, so that the side effects still lasted when the study was over. They also found a phenomenon they called re-challenge, which is, and many cases of re-challenge, which is a recurrence or even worsening of a side effect following repeated doses of the vaccine.
So every time someone was jabbed, first time they got an adverse reaction, perhaps, then with the second injection it became worse. Third injection, worse again.
Exactly. This is exactly what re-challenge means. It means that when you get another dose, the side effects either comes back or even worsens. So it's either the side effects were long-term, or when they already stopped, they came back after repeated doses. Okay. So in fact, the researchers were so worried about those side effects, those findings, that their conclusions were that these findings, first of all, they said they established causal relations between the vaccine and the side effects, especially this phenomenon of re-challenge. Professor Berkovich, the head researcher, explicitly stresses that this phenomenon, the re-challenge, increases the chances of causality from possible to definitive. And even more than that, they explicitly warn, the researchers explicitly warn the Ministry of Health that they need to think medical legal. They need to think carefully how to present this finding to the public, because they contradict what they said, because the Ministry of Health, not only in Israel, continuously claim that the serious side effects are rare, short-term, and transient, and told people to go get vaccinated anyway. So now the researchers warned the officials that they might open themselves to liability. So when these findings of the team's study contradict the Ministry of Health's safe and effective narrative, instead of changing their approach, they decided to put a stop to the study because they didn't like the findings. That's all. So, and furthermore, they didn't even pursue the most severe cases found in the study. Nearly turns out that there were 155 serious cases in adults, including cardiovascular events, which required hospitalizations or ER visits. And the team was talking during the meeting about them and explaining that they need to analyze these cases and that they haven't yet had the time to do it. So they need more time to continue the study. And moreover, the Ministry of Health now knows about people that were seriously harmed and suffered re-challenge, because, this is a very unique study because the form wasn't anonymous. So they know about these people whose conditions got worse by each successive vaccination. They know about them. And that means that there is a great likelihood that there is a causal relation in their case. So they know exactly who those people are, and their duty is to get in touch with them and check on them, and of course to compensate them, but most importantly to follow their condition. Not only for them, but to know what happens in these cases.
But instead,